Hello, welcome to this painting tutorial. For this video I decided to paint a Bad Moons Ork for Warhammer 40k. This model was really fun to paint and I hope you enjoy it too. Now in this video I do go around a lot of detail about this model. Of course, if you're going to paint a huge orc force, you may want to drop a couple of steps just to have an army painted quickly. But you can drop some highlights and some details as you see fit. If you like this video, please show it liking the video, subscribing to this channel, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to start with a white pride miniature, and I'm going to use Waagh Flesh to paint all of the skin area. I'm using a Kolinsky size 2 brush, and the primer is the Vallejo white polyurethane primer through an airbrush. The only disadvantage of using this primer is it's a little bit hard for the paint to stick. I think because it's designed for airbrush, but a couple of coats will solve this problem quickly. Now here try to make an even coat, as even as possible, thinning down the paint at least 1:1, 1 part water and 1 part paint, and apply it all over the skin. Now that that's done, I'm going to use Averland Sunset, and this color I'm going to use to paint all of the yellow areas. For this model I choose to paint yellow the shirt, the head of the axe, and the slugga case. Now, the same as the previous step, I'm using watered down paint and applying it as even as possible over the areas, and at least I'm making 2 coats. Next I'm going to use the base coat Mournfang brown, and then I'm going to use it to paint the pants. I also use this color to paint the axe handle. You can see here that the paint is not covering too well, but if it happens to you, try not to think about it too much, let it dry and apply a second coat. If you tamper with it while it's still drying, you're just going to create paint crumbs and brush strokes. That principle applies to any layer or base coat that you're using. Next I'm going to use the Vallejo model color black. You can use Averland black, but I like this color because it has a really matte finish, and this color I'm going to use it to color in all of the leather and the boots and the gloves. Sorry if the hands get on the way a couple of times in this video. It just happened. It's a mistake on my part. I hope you can still see the process anyways. Next I'm going to use Leadbelcher, and I'm going to start applying it all over the metal areas. This is just on selected parts that are not going to be painted yellow, of course, like the slugga, the bolts and metal pieces here and there. Just use the same method as the other base coats. Thin it down a little bit, but this time, because it's a metal color, you can use any sort of medium. You can use the Lamian medium or glaze medium or whatever you have at hand. Water if you don't have any of those, but it's not that good. Next I'm going to use Balthasar gold, and I'm going to pick little details here and there and paint them with this color. You may know that the Bad Moons Orks are the richest clan of orcs, and it's good to show it painting some details on gold, even some teeth if you would like. Next, I'm going to use Zandri dust, and this color I'm going to use it to paint the teeth. Again, try to water it down a little bit and try to not get into the other base coats. Next, I'm going to use the washes. I'm going to use Griffin Sepia for all of the yellow areas. It's a fairly simple step. If you have seen my other videos, just mop the color on top of the base coat, just letting it sink into the crevices and give you shadows. Next, I'm going to use Thraka green, but because I don't have the Bile Tan green, I'm using this color. Of course, the Griffin Sepia is Seraphim Sepia. I forgot to tell you that, but it's the same colors. It's the new shades are as good as the old ones. Next, for all of the metallic parts and the browns, I'm going to use Nuln oil. This color I also used it on the pants, although I didn't show it. And I also used it on the teeth. You could use the Agrix Earthshade for the teeth to make them look brown, but it's kind of the same thing, because they're really little details. Using a black shadow, it's not that different. Also use the Griffin Sepia to shadow the gold details. Once that's dry, I'm going to start layering the skin. I'm going to start with Warboss green, and I'm going to use a mix of paint, water and glaze medium, each one on equal parts, 1 to 1 to 1. And I'm going to slowly add opacity to this color, layering it into the skin where the light hits. Of course, this color is not gonna cover too well, but you can let it dry and apply second or third coat or even more until you are happy with your color. I used a wet palette for layering these colors on the skin, the highlights. I just applied a little paint on the wet palette and glazed medium, and the filtering water provided an extra thinness to the paint. And that's how I went about it. The color stayed wet for a long time, and I could apply multiple coats with the same paint. And yeah, I applied I think about 3 coats, and that's it. Just of course try to pick up the highest areas and leave the recesses on the previous color. Here I'm applying another coat once the first one is dry, and you can repeat this process until you are happy with the color. Next I'm going to use Skarsnix green, and this color I'm going to apply it the same as the last one, but just on the very highest parts where the light hits. Try to leave a little bit of the previous color and build the opacity the same as the first step. This is gonna be all for the first part of this tutorial. I hope you like it, and I hope this video was helpful and informative. Please follow the link to the second part, and don't forget to like the video, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. You can also check out my Facebook page if you would like to talk to me. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next part.